Hey viewers, George here doing an impressional talking bit on this game, South Park: The Stick of Truth. This game is just fantastic. There's just so many good things about it. It's unbelievable. Originally when I had sold this game, I heard about it and I didn't really care too much about it because at that point I kind of grew out of South Park. I haven't seen the show in, a few years by this time. But, what was it, about a few months ago, my friend had showed me a trailer for the game, and it showed some gameplay elements and whatnot, and I was watching, I'm like, this actually looks really good. So I got really excited for it, and of course it comes out, I grabbed the game, and I'm pretty pleased. It's a very good game. I played it right through and beat it, which I don't usually do with first impressions. But, yeah, it's a fun game. So, let's go through some of the good points before we get to, the few bad points I have about this game. This game is so faithful to the show, it's not even funny. Well, it is funny, but the game was written by Trey and Matt. They contributed so much to this game to keep it as faithful to the show as possible. Of course, voice acting by all the original cast members, and concepts and the ideas. They were directly involved with it. They were working with the company that was making this game, and you can really tell because it has that quality that you expect from the show. So it has that kind of humor, the level, the insanity that you come to expect and love from the show is in this game, and it's such a great thing because you're playing it and it feels like you're playing a South Park episode, that you're a part of a South Park episode. It's just so much fun. Gameplay wise, it's a standard turn-based RPG where you get to choose from 4 different classes: fighter, warrior, mage, and a mage warrior, which they call a Jew, or at least I think that's what the Jew class is. But they're all fairly good classes. I mean, primarily I played with the mage because that's my thing. But each class has its own different abilities and whatnot. So if you're more comfortable playing with one, you'll have those kind of expectations, and you don't feel disappointed at all with anything. The core combat sequences, it is turn-based, but when you go to do your attacks, your magic or anything, you have to engage in a bit of a quick time event, essentially. Kind of in the same sense of Costume Quest, where you have to mash buttons or hit certain sequences of buttons or timing or rotate the analog sticks or what have you. And although those would be bad things to say about an RPG and its combat, in this case it works really well because it just constantly keeps you engaged when you're playing it. It doesn't just feel like you're hitting a couple of buttons just to get the combat over and done with, like something in Pokemon or what have you. It just feels fun, and you feel involved, which was very weird to say because, like I said, normally those are pretty bad qualities to have, but it works. The presentation, just going back to it, the entire game looks like an episode of South Park. Everything's done in that same style, the 2D cardboard cutout kind of thing, which is good, and it looks fantastic, and it feels fine. There's a lot of references to not only pop culture, of course what we expect from South Park, but there's a ton of references to the show itself as previous seasons, past these somewhat years as it's been on for. The story, if you don't know what it is, this game, is you play as the new kid who, basically you make friends with some of the main cast, and you are thrusted into playing their LARPing game of sorts, and it just from there it escalates into this crazy, batshit insane story that we've come to know and love and expect from the show's creators. And I love to comment and say more about it, but spoiling anything about this game just kind of ruins the enjoyment overall. Next to the main quest, there's a bunch of side quests, which is really good. Not too many, though, that there's enough for replay value. I mean, once you beat the game, you can complete a few quests that you didn't do, but for the most part, you'll be doing a lot of those while you're playing the main game, because a lot of them you need to be in a certain area during a certain time to get like a collectible, or get someone to befriend you on Facebook or whatever. That's another thing. You have to befriend everyone in South Park via Facebook, which is just a weird concept in itself. So that's one of the downfalls of it, is that after you've beaten the game, there's really nothing to do except, get a few things here and there. But, you beat the game and that's kind of it. Credits roll and it's, you're done. So it kind of ends. Like I said, there's no replay value, but I mean, you can play through the game again and try like different options, different classes, try and actually get everything. There's a bunch of achievements if you're into doing those things. So I mean, there is a little bit, but not, in the traditional sense. Now to some of the other, another bad thing. Actually, two bad things. One that's a little minor, but the price tag for this is like $65, which is pretty expensive for a new release. But I can vouch for it, saying that I did not feel like I wasted any money. It felt like a really good purchase. I'm, pleasantly pleased with it. The other thing is I experienced a couple of bugs. The ones in this one are pretty obvious. I mean, like, they go from just simple things where you get stuck in a certain place. Like, for instance, I was on a ladder. I was going down it, and I got stuck at the bottom of the ladder. Like, my character wouldn't get off it until I decided to pull my arrow out, and then they got off the ladder, which is really weird. And then there's the other one where it just freezes the game, because that's always fun. Thankfully, though, these bugs aren't too big of a problem. Like, the game saves frequently through autosaves, and you get about 3 to 4 autosaves that are kept in the file before they start replacing each other. So, it's not that hard to, just load up the last autosave and just continue going from where you were, and you'll pass by it. I've only had it happen to me once, once with the ladder thing and once where the game froze, so that's okay, that's good. But I've heard other people have had the same problem in certain areas, so, it's not something that you can't fix in post, so they'll probably fix it. I mean, they'd be stupid not to. But beyond that, the game's fantastic, it's a lot of fun. No replay value, but, what it has to offer is just fantastic. I mean, if you like South Park, at the least, you'll really enjoy this game, and you'll just find it absolutely hilarious and, crazy and whatever. If you like RPGs, you'll really like this. And if there's one thing I'd definitely say about this game, is that after I finished playing through it, I wanted more. I wanted to play more of it. So I was a little sad there wasn't any replay value to it. So hopefully, a sequel or an add-on or expansion. Maybe. Well, with that all said and done, until next time, keep on gaming.